one thing that is becoming apparent is that disaster capitalism is striking yet again. And now I'll show you guys a story where many Maui residents and many Hawaiians are fearful that the tragedy will lead to an abundance of outsiders that will replace the indigenous Hawaiians. So am I being a crazy conspiracy theorist when I say this? I don't know. Let's listen to this fucking smart guy. Let's listen to this quick video. Share about hotspot, and I will move on for this. I won't go through this segment pretty fast.
Not long ago, Hawaiian government officials in the areas that were just affected by the wildfires passed a law saying that that land could not be redistricted for new building permits unless some sort or some type of a serious natural disaster occurred. Serious natural disaster occurred. And what did we have happen through those 3 districts of very sacred land to the Hawaiians? A very serious natural disaster. I'm not going to get into space lasers and all of that shit, but people called their insurance companies after the fire, and the insurance companies, for the first time, informed them that there was zoning infractions on their land, so they would not honor their insurance policies. And within 24 hours of these people losing their homes, the same developers who the Hawaiian elders fought in court to have that law passed are already calling these people and making them offers for their homes. This is what happens when the government sticks their fingers in everything. The government's in the insurance industry. They're talking to people who are paying for their campaigns, which are the buyers of this land. And they say to these people, hey, let us know when they call you to get their insurance claims, and let us know when you deny them so we can then give them a call right away and scoop in and swoop in and be the heroes. So they're going to get this land that they're going to develop into millions of dollars worth of property, and the Hawaiian elders are going to get fuck all. They're going to get screwed over. And this happens everywhere. There's too many coincidences for this not to be shady. Wake up.
So there are people probably thinking right now, Nick, do you really believe the government would set fire and kill hundreds of people in order to claim?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. What?
Yes. But also, you gotta remember the mindset of capitalists. Never let a tragedy go to waste. Never allow a tragedy to go to waste. So whether they did it or not, which I think CJ's pretty clear on where we lay on, is 100% irrelevant. No matter what happened, they were going to come in when a disaster happened. This is what disaster capitalists do, and they're going to exploit the situation as they know it. How can we get ahead of this disaster? How can we take the disaster and seize more land? In fact, they're already working on it. We already see what the Hillary Clinton Foundation did to Haiti. We already saw what the Red Cross did to Haiti. So guess who came out of retirement? Guess who finally had something to do? Barack Obama. And I got this question to ask you guys. What the hell has Barack Obama done as an ex-president thus far? What social initiatives have he taken up other than being a Netflix star? And this is an article that I didn't read through that make a few great points here. Barack Obama has been one of the worst ex-presidents ever. Like, what the fuck has he done? Jimmy Carter built houses and shit, right? George W. Bush does like this aid research in Africa. They always do shit to at least make up for their fucking war crimes. Meanwhile, Barack Obama, like, nigga, I'm going to Hollywood. I ain't doing no social activism. Millions of black people going homeless, don't give a shit. Workers striking, don't give a shit. What the hell has Barack Obama been doing? So this motherfucker comes out of his mansions, comes out of retirement, and what does he come out of retirement for? To push the Red Cross. Alarm bells should be ringing from everyone everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because now this is where disaster capitalism is about to strike. This is where these people here to grift and steal money because the Red Cross is complicit. I'm gonna show you guys some more receipts after I play the video with massive money laundering. They lost hundreds of millions of dollars that went into administrative costs and salaries. What does that mean? Fucking, they're just literally grifting and stealing money from charities and foundations. And this is what Barack Obama is promoting, the Red Cross right now. Do not donate to the Red Cross. I'll just play a few seconds of this because what he said is not actually that important. I'll just play a few seconds.
Aloha, everybody. Like so many people around the world, Michelle and I have been absolutely heartbroken by the devastating images coming out of Maui and Lahaina over the last week. As someone who grew up in Hawaii, as someone who has taken my family to enjoy the incredible beauty of that island and the hospitality of the people of Lahaina, we now find ourselves mourning the lives that are lost, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families that have lost so much. The thing about it is, though, thoughts and prayers in a moment like this are not enough. We have to step up, and we have to help those families, and we have to help Lahaina rebuild. And the good news is that the Hawaii Red Cross and Malama Maui are mobilized.
Don't trust this Negro.
At all.
Don't ever. He's here to help the Red Cross grift. Now, if you guys don't know, now you know. Now I'm gonna show you guys the example of what Red Cross has done. They took a ton of money in donation. I'll share this one. I'll share Mac's tweet first. The Red Cross raised $500 million for the Haiti earthquake relief in 2010, and they spent 25% on internal administration costs. But we're the grifters. These motherfuckers took millions of dollars and spent a quarter of it on salary. Can you imagine what would happen if we did something like that? Or any person anywhere? No, and after taking half a billion dollars, they built only 6 houses for Haitians. 6. And to this day, 6. And at the time, and to expound on this tweet, they lied and they went on propaganda campaigns in the media. The corporate media helped them as well. People like Barack Obama helped them as well. For example, here, the Red Cross says it provided homes to more than 130,000 people. And they went on this long propaganda campaign. And guess who helped them? The media. The American media will repeat this shit completely uncritically for a very long time. But despite them saying they built 130,000 homes, they actually built 6. And I'm going to read this paragraph here. Aid organizations from around the world have struggled after the earthquake in Haiti, the Western Hemisphere's poorest country. But ProPublica and NPR's investigation show that many of the Red Cross failings in Haiti are of its own making. They are also part of a larger pattern in which the organization has botched delivery of aid after disasters such as Superstorm Sandy. So this is not the first time they did this. Every time the Red Cross come in, they grift and take millions of dollars and pay themselves, pay them houses, get themselves nice cars, get themselves nice suits, like in Superstorm Sandy. And they continue, despite its difficulties, the Red Cross remains the charity of choice for ordinary Americans and corporations alike. So they stole millions and millions and millions of dollars from people who want to donate to charity. But despite that, Barack Obama still props them up. Corporate media still props them up to this day. Imagine if you are a cashier and you have $50 missing in your cashier, what will happen to you? Imagine if you have $500 missing. Meanwhile, the Red Cross can account for hundreds of millions of dollars. Despite the fact that they can't account for hundreds of millions of dollars, they are still promoted by people like Barack Obama and the corporate media. You guys see how there's never any accountability for the ruling class? Between this and the Pentagon losing trillions of dollars. Oops. Oops. Lost a few trillion bucks. Oops, can't pass an audit. You guys see how there are no consequences for the ruling class? So I'm gonna show you. This is what the Hillary Clinton, who we just showed with Rachel Maddow, uh, how the Clinton Foundation was complicit with this as well. The Clinton Foundation stole millions from Haiti, devastating. This is many article and reporting. Haiti and the failed promise of U.S. aid, and the Clinton Foundation played a very, very, very important part of that as well. So now they calling on Red Cross and the liberal gang is at it again. They want to do that to Hawaii. Now I'm gonna show a few clips I didn't get to show yesterday. Once again, I trust the reporting of on the ground citizen journalists, people who live this life, instead of liberal propaganda for the Joe Biden administration. A lot of them were very upset with me, fam, yesterday when I had a viral video calling out Biden, and there were so many people making excuses for him. And I've seen this war where liberals making excuses for Joe Biden. But they said, well, Biden's there. No, listen to what the people are saying. And this is the result of the colonialism that capitalism enables. And so let's listen to it.
Same waters that our people just died in 3 days ago are the same waters the very next day these visitors, tourists, were swimming in. And that says a lot about where their heart and mind is through all of this, and where our heart and mind is. You don't see our people swimming, snorkeling, surfing. Nobody is having fun in tragedy and continuing their lives like nothing has happened. There is two Hawaiis right now. There is the Hawaii we're living in and the Hawaii they're living in, they're visiting in.
There are two Hawaiis right now. The Hawaii they're living in, Hawaii that the capitalist like Oprah is living in. You know, Oprah who had 2,000 acres. All those celebrities that just so happen to not have their land burned by this. Oh, just a coincidence, I'm sure. And I'm gonna show. Anyway, do you guys want to add on to this? I just got just 2-3 more receipts.
I think JB, you say you had a video to this.
Yeah, but before that, I just wanted to say, remember when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave the speech about the Tale of Two Americas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. There's two different Hawaiis, not the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this clip, and I have 2 more short receipts, and I'll pass it to JB for his video clip. Okay. But you guys heard from her, and the same way, because I'm not from Hawaii, I'm not a victim of U.S. imperialism and colonialism in Hawaii. So the same way that I'm not directly impacted by the Israeli regime, who do I listen to? I listen to the Palestinian Community Network. I listen to the Palestinians and activists the same way I expect my allies to listen to me when I talk about Black issues and our struggles. So I'm looking at the Hawaii situation. I'm like, all right, let me see what the indigenous Hawaiian people are saying. So you want to see what indigenous Hawaiian activists have been saying for years and why we have this position that we do and why we should be aware of these people. And beware, this person is about to hurt some of you motherfuckers' feelings. That's not our concern, though.
The Americans, my people, are our enemies, and you must understand that. They are our enemies. They took our land. They imprisoned our queen. They banned our language. They forcibly made us a colony of the United States. America always says they are democratic. Lies! That is a lie! They have never been democratic with Native people. They have never been democratic with Indians. They have never been democratic with Hawaiians.
They never been democratic to indigenous people. They've never been democratic for Native Americans. They've never been democratic to Black Americans as well. That's why we say, and I had the conversation with Pasta, that's why white people freak out about COVID, because COVID was the first time they ever felt oppression. Meanwhile, look at the lives of indigenous Hawaiians. Indigenous Hawaiians got 1,000 things to worry about. And this speech here, and the same reason why you had indigenous Hawaiians who call for independence, this is why the West hates the Chinese peace proposal. There it is. You guys see how everything connects? You guys see how everything connects? So what did the Chinese peace proposal say in Ukraine? The Chinese peace proposal says that all countries, no matter what size and power, no matter they're big or no matter they're small, they have to respect the territorial sovereignty of peoples That's what the Chinese people proposal says. So by doing that, you have ethnic Russians in the Donbass and in Odessa who do not want to be part of Ukraine. They allow them to be an independent state or be part of Russia. That means that ethnic Russians in Crimea who do not want to be part of Ukraine gets to be part of Russia. That means indigenous Hawaiians are no longer victims of colonialism from the United States, fam. And the Taiwanese vice president, there's a story I don't got time for today, but I might cover at Nick and Night. Visit the United States is a big deal. China's very upset about that. But you guys know in this visit, this Taiwanese vice president separatist, I mean, this person is unhinged, a crazy person. But even they said they support the status quo of Taiwan being part of China. They have disagreements on what China allows, but they believe that they still support the status quo. So based on the Chinese peace proposal, the Taiwanese vice president still want to be part of China. Very inconvenient for the Western narrative. You have indigenous Hawaiians who will leave. You have ethnic Russians in Odessa that will leave. But anyway, I get on. But you guys see how I said it earlier. If you don't follow foreign affairs, you only unlock 10% of politics at best. Because now you realize why the West have problems with these kind of people. Now, 2 quick receipts I'll pass to JB, and not even videos. Actually, one is a quick 10-second video. The Biden administration is essentially blowing all this off. Listen to this.
Aside from the statement from the president, has President Biden spoken to any family members of wildfire victims or plans to in the future?
I don't have any calls to speak to at this time.
Fam, I have longer memory than the average American does, but I remember the reaction to Trump in Puerto Rico. So they asked Biden's press secretary, has Biden made any phone calls to the victims in Maui? Anybody? We can't confirm that. So not only was he caught saying no comment, he's not even giving condolence phone calls. And once again, these are the same stuff they hang Trump on the wall for. Then what Trump the random syndrome blocks him from seeing. They will attack Trump for his decorum. He's not even reaching out to the victims of Puerto Rico. Do you guys remember that? I remember. I don't remember. I don't forget shit. There was a whole media cycle about it. About Trump is not sending condolences. Meanwhile, Biden can't even comment about it. But he can't even call the family and people in Hawaii. Meanwhile, this motherfucker flying to Ukraine, inviting Zelensky to the White House.
I think it's on purpose. I think these tragedies, when they don't reach out, it does a couple of things not to engage. In this particular situation, what does him delaying his engagement with the people on the island do? It allows for the capitalists to call all the families to buy up all the property. You get what I'm saying? So these delays have plans underneath. You get what I'm saying? Because it doesn't take a rocket science to go, wow, we just had a hurricane. People got mad because I didn't call right away. Here's something. Let me call right. You get what I'm saying? These people go to school. They got college degrees. They know exactly. So we have to ask, why are they intentionally doing that? And I'm telling you, in each instance, it has something to do, in my opinion, with disaster capitalism. Same thing with Katrina. They want that some of those areas got gentrified, where all those people got moved out, and they never repaired it, and they never fixed it back for those people to move back in. They just gentrified it.
Yeah.
It always has something to do with capitalism. Go ahead.
Joe Biden is the moral superior to nobody. Like, people think that Joe Biden is the moral superior to Donald Trump. White House blows off criticism of Biden on Maui wildfire. What is the criticism that everyone been making? We show you guys the on the ground report, and JB, I saw you covered it as well, where people on the ground is criticizing the government for having a slow response. Mm-hmm. They're like, shut the fuck up, man. You guys always bitching. That's essentially what they say. They rush hundreds of millions of dollars, so hundreds of billions, to Ukraine. I think I saw a number. It was around $215 billion was sent to Ukraine. Meanwhile, he said $700. Shut the fuck up. No need to read the article, but JB, I'll pass it to you for a live video, and then we can wrap.
Yeah. So one of the things that was brought out to me was that Lahaina is actually the original capital city of the Kingdom of Hawaii before the United States took it over, took it away from the native Hawaiians and made Honolulu the capital. So that's one thing. There was this video that I saw that was on TikTok, and they are basically saying, they say, do not sign anything from FEMA besides Hawaii is still under occupation, no jurisdiction. Let's hear what they have to say.
How's it, TikTok peeps? All right. The reason why we were saying do not sign anything from FEMA, okay, is because of this, right? Can the government take private property during an emergency? Under the Stafford Act, the FEMA is authorized to use eminent domain to take both real and personal property on an emergency basis. All right? Read the rest of this. You don't believe me? Whatever. That's up to you. But if you own land in Lahaina,
so I'll read it. It says, under the Stafford Act, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is authorized to use eminent domain to take both real and personal property on an emergency basis. The federal law gives FEMA extensive powers which can affect our citizens, but should not render the protections we are all afforded under our federal and state constitutions, such as the guarantee of just compensation for any taking which is undertaken for a public purpose. As the United States Supreme Court has made clear, the Fifth Amendment guarantees the private property shall not be taken for a public use without a just compensation, was designed to bar government from forcing some people alone to bear public burdens, which, in all fairness and justice, should be borne by the public as a whole. That's from Armstrong versus the United States, 364 U.S. 4049.
That's some crazy ass shit, man.
So,
do not sign anything for FEMA. That is why they're holding back all of the donations and saying, hey, you want food? Come sign this. BS. They don't want anybody left in Lahaina. So they're trying to starve you guys out. All right? You get it? If there is nobody in Lahaina left, who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop them from calling eminent domain?
You guys see how all the people on the ground is calling this out? Meanwhile, there's a completely different narrative coming from not only just Democrats but progressives who pretend that Biden and the government is having this amazing response. No, they're trying to replace them. They're trying to take over their land and their community. It's as disgusting as it gets in government.